Welcome to 108 Gates. We are doing an energy reading for when you've come to this recording. Definite feeling straight off the bat when I started prepping for this reading was in the storm, there is the eye of the storm, which is probably the most calmest space to be. This energy about the stillness, around the stillness within, is getting stronger and stronger. So as there's more things happening around us, how are we able to bring ourselves back to calm, back to center, effectively, efficiently, calmly? And what is it when we've got to the calm point? Are we able to identify what pulled us out of that calmness, what we had to do to bring us back to the calmness, and then kind of utilizing that self-awareness for our higher good, utilizing the self-awareness to make sure that we're operating at our full potential or fuller potential. The vulture and the asphodel, so upheaval. I'm not surprised, because the energy of the how do we get back to calm sooner and easier is because of, in contrast to that, there may be things coming in to kind of throw you off your center. It does feel as though it's like if you're in a vehicle on a really bumpy road, you're still in the vehicle, you're still in yourself, you're still within your path, but at the same time you are getting thrown around a bit in the vehicle. So it's kind of like, right, so how do I best make sure that everything in the vehicle is secured? How do I make sure that I am secured or anyone else in the car is secured? It's making sure we have all those things in place. So even if it's a bumpy road, we know that we're still safe, we're still secure. And there are going to be some bumps in the road. So we've got the rooster and sunflower communication. This feels very strongly along the lines of the communication with yourself. How do you communicate with yourself about certain things? So to bring some light to that, it's about if our emotions are pulled along this bumpy road into a negative space, and there's frustration coming up, there's anger coming up, there's insecurity coming up, it's about taking that time to go back to the still space, knowing, identifying, I can't achieve something of higher value or of higher outcome from that space of being wound up, of being in turmoil, of being in a annoyed or frustrated space, because your emotions, your perspective, your perception is fueled by negative emotion. It's not to judge the negative emotion, it's not to be pushing away the negative emotion. It's about recognizing it there, recognizing that, where is it? Can you feel it in your body? Can you feel it in your sensations? Recognizing it, and then without holding on to it, identifying where is it coming from, identifying how has it come about here. Is this actually mine, or is this a pattern or a behavior I've observed someone else doing it? That is empowering you, because then you can start thinking about, or start weaving something for like a safety net, or start creating a different way of communicating with yourself, and just kind of, one, neutralize it, two, then positively having a different spin on it. So the most important point is, at this point, neutralizing it, because you don't want to be stuck in the negative space, but you can't jump to the positive space. So that neutral space is like, right, what can I do right now? First, I need to calm myself down. Then I need to look at the situation again. Then I need to look at, do I have a solution? If I don't have a solution, what could be a possible solution? And I know it sounds a bit, I don't mean it to sound patronising or anything like that. It just literally is about when we are in the height of that emotion, the height of that energy, that you kind of get lost. Sorry, there's a few cards dropped out. You can get lost in so much of the emotion and the drive from the emotion that we kind of forget how to actually manage the situation appropriately. Again, it's not a criticism, it's just about us being a bit more effective and efficient in our own way, in our own lives. than being consumed by things. So you got the Queen on the side and the Five of Wands on its side. The Queen is getting kind of knotted up in things, but identifying how we can unknot ourselves or how we can respond to those knots. Like if you think about okay, sorry, it's got another one come out. Eight of Wands, communication, fast, quick movement. If we think about a knot, and if we pull at that knot without actually untangling the string or whatever it is, if we don't untangle it first and then pull it away, the knot becomes tighter, it becomes more restricted, it becomes more constricted. So this is what the Queen of Wands is kind of looking at, of like, it's all well and good being heated, it's all well and good expressing your emotion, having your emotion, acknowledging your emotion. It's now the next step of, what do I do with this? How do I make sure I'm letting it work for me in my favour, as opposed to it taking me over, consuming me, and me getting lost in that abyss of such emotion that I don't actually know where I've got to. So if you think about when you're highly emotionally charged and you respond to it with more highly emotional charge, emotionally highly kind of responding to that in the same kind of way, it just gets you more knotted up. It can create arguments, it can create more chaos and confusion. So it's about calming it down as soon as possible, calming it down in a way that you have it as a reflex, mastering this and then having it as a reflex of just stay calm, stay still. I don't know why this is coming in my mind, but it's like I'm just hearing AI. I'm not even going to go there. Right, Five of Wands, keeping the conflict contained, keeping the conflict in perspective, keeping the conflict in a realistic, compassionate perspective. So yes, you're feeling angry, yes, you feel annoyed, yes, you feel frustration, yes, you feel certain things that are not beneficial, but at the same time, honouring you're feeling that for a reason. Honouring is coming from somewhere, in response to, in reaction to something, looking at that in an objective manner as possible, which is funny because when I woke up this morning, all I could hear was and feel was just be objective, just feel objection. And I don't mean objecting as in like disapproval or not agreement. I mean objective as in like just be in that space of observing, be in that space of taking note of what is happening, where, why, how. Again, in a curious way, not in a judgmental way. So the communication then feels as though, and the movement of emotions, the movement of progress is going to shift and change. This is like, when we're talking about investment, I'm not kind of surprised to see this, because it feels as though this skill here, we can't fully understand where this is going to be beneficial to us in the future, or even in the near future and the further future ahead, because this skill is going to be something that may have been also something that put us into awkward situations in the past, or it put us in these situations where you couldn't get out of it as easy or quickly as you wanted to. It actually pulled you down and sucked you into situations that you wanted to be pushing yourself out of, or pulling yourself out of, or grasping at something. So this is not only counteracting those times that it happened like that, but it's also bringing in the tools that if it ever happens again, when it happens again, if it happens again, you have the tools to kind of navigate it in a different way. So the investment in really taking your time to do this, it may be annoying, it may be frustrating, it may be feeling, again, that word futile, but it's not. It's about you investing in your future collaborations, your future way of dealing with certain things. If you have excuse me, sorry, the word tripping. If you're holding these energies and you can't get past it, then you're not going to be able to invest what you need to. When you're seeing a situation and you're able to take that step back, you're able to observe what's happening. Is this someone intentionally winding me up? Is this intentionally to get me in a certain particular space, so they can kind of blame me for certain things. Is this someone's way of holding me back? Is this someone's way of taking my energy from me? Is this an energy vampire? Is this so we're taking that step back and observing the situation is going to be really, really beneficial, and it is worth your while, if you do go into this kind of cycle, to take a step back, observe, where am I feeling it? Am I having palpitations? Am I having a head rush? Am I, like, viscerally and physically, where are you feeling it? Looking up. So certain things you need to walk away from. This is not going to be an easy part, because a lot of these things you haven't walked away from already because they're of some value to you, of some worth to you. The thing is, your values and worth and beliefs of what you are worth and your values is going to be shifting and changing, not because you want it to necessarily, because you're going to have to. You're going to have to take that step to see that this is actually not beneficial. I've tried to do it this way, I've tried to do it that way, I've tried to do it that way. It's just not working. It's not having the outcome I want, and you're literally going to have to walk away from those things. This is feeling like it's an energy that's coming here. It's in the periphery, it's in the potential spaces. It's like you want to be collaborating with the correct people. Have you been collaborating with people who genuinely, sincerely support you, or have you been entangled with people who are presented as supportive, but actually they're just kind of putting you in a web, they're tangling you up in a web? Which one is it? Are they pulling you away from sources that are actually beneficial to you? Like stopping you from actually doing something that's worthwhile? Stopping you connecting with someone that's worthwhile? I don't know. Anyway, so from this, understanding that you've got the 3 cups thing is really strong lately. It's been for the past few weeks easily. So again, I'm not seeing this as 6. I'm seeing it as a 3 and a 3. Yes, 3, 3, 6. And if you want to be a bit Tesla, 9 with those 3. So you've got your foundation of your cups, you've got your thing what you're building, you've got the memories of this, that and the other. It's all going to be a bit gobbledygook, if that makes sense. It's going to become very under scrutiny, should we say, because you're going to see that, okay, I saw the surface of a person, I saw the surface of a situation and it looked like this, but when you take a step back and start seeing what it's actually about and where the actual frustration and anger is coming from, it's going to be a very different idea. So death, bringing an end to this, bringing an end to the illusion, bringing an end to the delusion, bringing an end to you putting people on a pedestal, you wanting a particular perspective of someone. And it's not going to be easy, in the sense of, for you to admit it to yourself is one thing, but if you have to disentangle from certain people or certain situations, it's about keeping your cool, keeping your calm, and doing it in a way that's the most dignified, calm, and with ease. For those of you doing the next steps of your journey, going in the like a higher space or a higher frequency space, good luck, enjoy this, because you're going to learn so much about yourself. Those of you who are not ready for it yet, it's okay, because it's not an easy step to take, but at the same time it will be a necessary one to take. Just saying. So collaborating with the correct people, having that discussion about what's next, having that discussion with yourself more than anything. This does feel like there's 3 aspects of yourself: your past self, your current self, and your future self. And it also does feel like, yes, externally there's going to be different people you're communicating with. You're going to start identifying those who are genuinely, sincerely on your side and those who are not. Those who really want you to win and those who just want themselves to win, and they're dragging along certain facades with them as they're on their journey to win, but they haven't really got your best interest at heart. It's a bit of a weird energy, but it is what it is. It's sad, if nothing else. It's really sad and disappointing, but the sadness and disappointment, it's an indicator of what did you expect from someone, what did you What did you want from them? What were you getting from them? What part of it was true? What part of it was a lie? I think Neptune is getting close to coming out of Pisces and into Aries. I've got to check that out, but I am feeling that here, that this is part of that, well, as I said, that my ears had a pressure in them. So the illusions that we've had, the emotional illusions and that we've had of Neptune in Pisces, when it goes into Aries, it's going to be a very, very different vibe, a very different story playing out. Right, so that's way too many cards. I'm going to take the cards that fell out and choose one from those. So by the 3 of coins. No. Right, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to get divine feminine, divine masculine to wrap up because it feels like it's necessary. So, divine feminine energy, Page of Swords, different sense of clarity coming in, a new sense of clarity coming in, a new sense of this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. But it's like a fresh, not a fight, it's a fresh defense mechanism, it's a fresh way of defending yourself, it's a fresh way of protecting yourself. The truth, seeing the truth, being with the truth is a new way of protecting yourself on another level. So we get divine masculine card, Knight of Serpents. So we've got the Knight of Coins. So then the value of this in your practical aspect of this, like we said over here, when you start learning how to do this quicker, easier, it's not that you haven't done it already, it's just you're going to be asked to do it to another level, to the next level of your own personal development and evolution. As you do this, you're going to see the benefit of dealing with it faster, dealing with it quicker, effective, efficient communication. Sometimes effective, efficient communication in this case is silence. Sometimes you don't have to go into that rigmarole of giving an explanation, but you definitely will need to be walking away from something. And you might not have to explain why you're walking away. You may have already done that 100 times before. You may have already explained yourself over and over again. So this is the time for whoever you've walked away from or whatever situation you've walked away from. This may be that you, even if you choose silence, they will have enough of your past conversations to be coming up in their memory if they choose to or not, or they can stay in denial. That's not on you. Your issue now is to get out of those situations that are just not working for you. And then the value of this is going to carry you forward. So you've got a fresh clarity of how to defend yourself, fresh clarity of how to utilise your sense of connection with your emotions, sense of connection with your visceral, somatic kind of body, your cellular memory, your responses to certain things. Utilise it. It is your power. It is your intelligence. It is your higher intelligence giving you insight into where you've been misled or where you've diverted yourself from the truth of where you should be going or could be going. So the value of this is going to increase. This is actually, it's a really powerful reading. It's a very powerful energy, and it's going to be one of those that needs to be mastered over the period of time. So with that, I am going to say my readings will be up soon. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. I appreciate your support of the channel. Hit the bell and enjoy this process. It's a deep one. It's a big one. It's a important one. So for now, peace and love.